Woohoo!
Welcome to the Sanitarium with Leatherface.
Hello, it's me, Bill Mosley, a.k.a. Otis Driftwood of the Devil's Rejects, and you're listening to the Sanitarium with Leatherface.
So which laugh was better? Guys, what do you think? Rob? My laugh better on that one? Yeah, he's got my back. Yeah. Welcome to the Sanitarium. This is Leatherface. We are live from Roxborough, North Carolina. So basically, yeah, we're out in the sticks. So we got some cool stuff going on tonight. We got a special guest. Oh yeah, I always have a special guest, don't I? And that's Rob Wilds. That's my special guest. Always my special guest. Very, very special. So yeah, Purple Sticky in the house tonight. My longtime friend, Ron Trammell. We got the Executioner, a wrestling partner. Hey, Joe. I see Joe in the background. We got Rob Wilds and other special characters. We have Stephen Hunter from the Hobbit movie series. Yes, Bomber. Yeah, he's badass dwarf. Got a little video for him I made. We're going to play that right after the commercial. And we'll bring him on. And he's live also from very, very, very far down under. Coming soon. Yeah. Give me a second. Keel us up. And I will be right back. All right, come on. Where's it at? All right, here we go. Shake and bake.
The best fudge comes from Uranus. Oh.
Uranus, Missouri.
That felt good.
Tastes even better.
Wow. Deep in the crack of America's heartland, the citizens of Uranus are bursting to give you their amazing fudge. That's right, fudge from Uranus. I'm not fudging with you. We're literally in Uranus. That's the mayor of Uranus, and you can get your fudge out the back door at UranusGeneralStore.com.
And we're not fudging with you. I'm as serious as a fudging horse kick to the side of your fudging head.
I am as serious as forgetting your fudging anniversary.
I'm serious as skid marks on your fudging undies.
I'm serious as fudging a pregnancy test.
I'm serious as fudging the presidential election.
I'm serious as fudging the bar exam.
Uranus squeezes out so many different fudges that they have a fudge for everyone. They got blueberry fudge, chocolate fudge, vanilla fudge, chocolate pecan fudge, mint chocolate fudge, cookies and cream fudge, peanut butter fudge, M&M fudge, toffee bar fudge. There's a fudge for everyone. Right now I'm making the mayor's #2 favorite flavor of fudge. You can try some at UranusGeneralStore.com. Click now.
That is some yummy fudge from Uranus.
The best fudge does come from Uranus, Mr. Mayor. That's my dad. Go to UranusGeneralStore.com and order the best fudge this side of the Mississippi. And the other fudge side, too. We can't contain it anymore. Uranus is about to explode across your screen and your front door.
Ooh, fudge!
Quit prairie dogging and order the best fudging fudge ever. Hey, Mr. Prairie Dog. So if digging for fudge in Uranus isn't your thing, then bring your fingers over here. Uranus offers a lot more than fudge. They got fudge and magnets. They got fudging hats and the hottest fudging calendars of Uranus you've ever fudging seen. Ooh, that's cool. But if you ask me what the best part about Uranus is, other than the fudge in Uranus, it's the fudging shirts. Fudge not, lest ye be fudged first. Fudge. Want to see more of Uranus? Come see the amazing attractions like
the Moonicorn Creamery and Funnel Cakery.
Fudge it great.
Escape Uranus escape rooms.
Fudgerific.
Uranus Sideshow Museum.
Hot fudge.
Chicken Bones Party Bar and Grill.
Fudge, yeah. So quit fudging around. How many more times do I need to say fudge to get you to order some fudge and fudge? Seriously, Uranus can't hold this fudge forever, so you might as well order some fudge today, for fudge's sakes. Go to UranusGeneralStore.com and order your fudge today. Or come down here and drop some deuces yourself. Peace.
Welcome to Uranus! Let's make Uranus great again.
Fudge, yeah!
Fudge, 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 fudge. Fudge.
Welcome back to the Sanitarium with Leatherface. Got a little video for you. Scene from The Hobbit with my buddy Stephen Hunter is about to come on. Here's a cute little kill count I made for him. So here it is. Then I'll go ahead and bring him on. Shake and bake.
Fatality.
Without further ado, here's Stephen Hunter. How you doing, man? How's
Good,
it
bro.
going?
Oh, awesome, man! Thanks for having me. And I think they missed the trick with the background music for all of that. I mean, it certainly makes it.
Oh yeah.
And I got to say, I used to work in radio, and I wrote lots of radio commercials, and I've been in like dozens of television commercials in Australia and New Zealand. And that Uranus General Store ad has got to be the best commercial I've ever seen in my life. That is awesome. I want to order some of that shit, man. I'm totally into it.
Yeah, they're in Missouri. Actually, when I migrated from California, well, I escaped California and came to North Carolina. We went right through Missouri. Yeah. Went through Missouri, and the Uranus Fudge Factory was this nice little attraction on the side of the road.
Genius.
So,
It's absolute genius.
Yeah, they are the funniest thing. It's I run them every episode, and they give me laughs. They were our first sponsor we had, and we still play them. We love them.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
So a 50 kill count right off the bat, very impressive. I will have to say you are the most impressive Hobbit in the movies.
Oh, thanks, dude. Thanks. And it's good to see some of that, because I think some of that fighting was in the extended cut. Because we all went to LA to see the last movie, like the Battle of Five Armies, and we're like halfway through it, and we're like, where are we? Where have we gone? There was like a lot of elf action, and then not a lot of dwarf action in there, but we got in. But that was fun, and a lot of that stuff. That first clip you showed with the barrels and all, I saw a previs shot of that right at the very start of production. That was something that Pete wanted in the movie right at the very start, and I hate to say, like, I'm in not a lot of that. I mean, a lot of it's my digital double. I had a stunt double. I had a digital double. I had a riding double. I had a scale double, like about that high, that used to work with the real Ian McKellen. Her name was Sharon. She was awesome. She was a real ass kicker. And yeah, and a lot of that barrel stuff was done in about 5 or 6 different locations over the course of a couple of years. So yeah, it really came together nicely. But
that's a bunch of mini-me's. So you got a nice little crew of doubles there.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we had heaps of them. Because the name for the dwarves, because he was like 13 of us, Peter Jackson used to just call us his little bastards. And it was just like, bring in the little bastards. And we'd rock in, and then there was the littler bastards, which were the scale doubles, which were the small ones. So yeah, that's kind of how we used to roll.
We have Noah Salutes, huge fan of the Hobbit series. Remember replaying the Misty Mountains on Spotify continuously.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, that was there's a thing called IMDb, and you can check, get all your credits and stuff. And we've actually we've all got these like soundtrack credits now for like Misty Mountains and Blunt to Knives as recording artists. But I I don't know whether I just had a shit singing voice, but I pretty much hummed the whole way. I was a hummer. That was pretty much. I was just relegated to humming, but that's cool.
Well, I'll
We
tell you
got
what,
to hang
man.
out.
You pulled it off, man. For sure.
Yeah.
So where
And
so where in the world did you film at? I know some of it was in New Zealand, correct? I mean, where were some other spots in it? It was beautiful.
No, it was all New Zealand, and because
Zealand.
I'm in Sydney now, and I've been in Sydney since 2003. But we went back to New Zealand for like a year and a half, almost 2 years, and it was all in Wellington. Most of it was shot in the Stone Street Studios in Miramar, which are Peter Jackson's studios, and probably about 80%, 90% of the whole film was shot there, and then the rest was shot on location mostly around the South Island, sometimes in the North Island. But when they did Lord of the Rings, sort of like the early 2000s, it was the other way around. Like 80% was location, and then there was only about 20 or 30% that was in in the studios.
Who was your favorite actor to work with?
This is Officer Bird, and you're traveling to another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. At the signpost up ahead, your next stop.
Little public service now.
The Sanitarium with Leatherface.
Bailiff Bird from Judge Judy.
Yeah. Totally. I could imagine. It kind of sounds like her too, a lot. I don't know. There were so many, like all the guys that we work with. Like I keep in touch with Graham McTavish quite a bit. Jed Brophy, Adam Brown. I was hanging out with with Jimmy Nesbitt quite a bit as well. But all the guys, all the dwarf guys were pretty close. Ian McKellen's a really cool guy too. He's totally one of the coolest dudes you've ever met. He went on record saying that one of the best things he loved about New Zealand was the weed. And I mean, it's certainly true. It's a pretty magical place for that.
I can't wait to go out there one day. That sounds. Rob, put that on the map. Put that on the list.
Yeah, man. I've only been there once in the last 2 years because they've shut the borders again. But it's definitely a cool. Yeah. Oh, if you go, I'll see you out with my bro. You can go and say hi. He's he'll be able to sort you out for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we all smoke continuously throughout the show too. So all my guests are stoners. So
I feel totally underprepared.
He's looking around. All right, where is it?
I got nothing. I got nothing, guys. Sorry.
All right.
That would be nice right now.
All right, you can toast this with water when you do the toast.
Yeah, I could just pretend it's like a bong.
Yeah, I got my buddy Ron Trammell. He's on here tonight. He's been my buddy for a lot of years. He's an old fart, but right before he moved to Baltimore, when I was still living in Sacramento, I gave him a bong rip, and there was like a bunch of hash underneath it, some weed on top, a little bit more hash.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a little bit of everything, and just a little bit of weed on top, so you couldn't tell what it was. And I told him just to hit it real hard and pull it, So he just hits it wildly without even thinking about it, and he pulls it. It's just all like mostly just a straight hash hit, all extract. So he just had a complete blowout, coughing, face turned purple, eyes popping out. I have the video, a couple 100,000 views on YouTube. That also made it on MTV's Ridiculousness. We'll bring him on just here after the secondary break when I bring the round table on. And
yeah, man.
He's back there just shaking his head, smiling right now because he knows. He's just like, holy shit.
Yeah, I remember I toured Turkey in about 2000. Yeah, like I was in Turkey when the towers fell, man, and that was pretty freaky being over there. But it was actually kind of cool. It was a good place to be, and I bought one of those great big, those big hubbly bubbly things back from New Zealand. And that got some good use back in Auckland because there's all kinds of things you can do with that. So. But then someone dropped it. I had some friends. They weren't even friends. I didn't even know this girl, but she turned up and ended up dropping it and breaking it. So that's the end of that. But anyway.
I'll tell you what, you fuckers are pretty brave there living down there because I just moved from California and there is a lot more fucking bugs and critters and weird snakes and shit over here in the East Coast. I I mean, nothing like Australia. You got crocodiles. You got all sorts of crazy, dangerous shit. I can only imagine. Spiders are probably like elephants. I can only imagine. But I just moved here to North Carolina. I live out in the country, and there's a bunch of new kind of snakes to look out for. And there's just something everywhere.
I live in Sydney, and I live in the city, and I haven't seen a lot of stuff. But there was a group of these comedians called the Scared Weird Little Guys, and they wrote this great song, and basically the hook line was, "Come to Australia, you might accidentally get killed," and because
great.
it's got I think we've got 8 out of 10 of the world's most deadliest snakes live here, and the spiders can kill you. The funnel webs, the white tails, the redbacks. But in New Zealand, you go to New Zealand, and I mean, everything's pretty. I mean, Kiwis are pretty harmless, right? And over there, nothing will kill you. You know, the only thing that will kill you over there is the drivers in the cars, because they just drive like maniacs. But as far as you can go camping and go tramping in the mountains and all sort of shit, and you'll never run into anything. Whereas here in Australia, man, it's just I've filmed in the outback and way up north in Western Australia, and it's pretty wild and woolly up there. And then crocodiles, obviously, that they'll. And a lot of the thing is up there, a lot of the crocodile incidents don't get reported. I was filming up in East Kimberley, which is a beautiful part of Australia, and someone goes, "Oh yeah, look, a lot of it doesn't get reported." There was an old lady who was sitting having a lunch one day, and just croc came, took a sandwich and half her arm with it, but it was never reported. So never eat a sandwich next to a river that's got crocodiles.
That's some shit. I like fishing. I mean, there's alligators here, and they're a lot more docile compared to crocodiles.
Yeah.
So I don't want to run into either of them. So, but they're not that far up here in North Carolina where I'm at. I'm really up north, closer to Virginia.
Yeah.
And I want to go fishing, but I'm just like, there's water moccasins I got to worry about now. These big old black, ugly water rattlesnake demons that you don't want to get bit by them. And they got these copperheads that don't really give you much warning. They kind of hide really good. They're poisonous as shit, and they'll get you too. They won't give you any warning. So
you guys got to come to New Zealand. The fishing in New Zealand is fantastic. I've got a dozen mates with boats, and they always go out and we get out on a boat and just catch lots of fish and dive for mussels and scallops and crayfish. It's awesome. I mean, the water's freezing cold. I mean, you got to count them, not rub them at the end of it. But it's pretty good fishing over there.
I want to bring your mind back a few years.
Yes.
I want you to think the very first time they put on your makeup to be your character in Hobbit. The very first time you looked in the mirror. I'm sure you're probably in front of the mirror the whole time they were doing your face off and on. But seeing the final product, looking in the mirror and seeing your transformation in the bombardment, what was it like? What can you remember? Taking you back?
Oh, it was pretty freaky. And the first time we saw it, we went to Weta Workshop, and they showed us the design of what we're going to look like. And that was the first time I'd ever seen it. And then when you put it on, it was kind of like, it felt a bit suffocating. And we had a big fat suit, and all the fat suit was like each arm muscle was like separate, and it was joined together by a big thing of thick elastic and buttons, so you could take off your arms, you can take off your big man ditties and all that kind of shit. And so
shut up, Rob.
Yeah.
I already know what he's thinking. He's like, "Oh, Face doesn't need a suit. He's already got one." I already knew what he was thinking.
I can't take these puppies off anymore either. But
I definitely don't need a fat suit.
Nah, but then they had Lycra over it, and it was really tight. And I just remember it was all quite tight, and the hands were like I've got sausage fingers anyway, but these were really thick. They were total Shrekkers, these things, and and they were really tight. And I just remember it feeling so tight. But the freakiest thing was my daughter she was only a few weeks old, and just the look on her face, she could hear my voice, and she could but there was this creature in front of her. And then after that, they never really came to set when I had my full prosthetics on. But I got used to it, man. I used to fall asleep in the prosthetics chair for 2 hours while they slapped it on, and in the end, it became like second skin. But yeah, to start with, it was a bit constricting.
I so love the fantasy. Oh, there he is. What?
For the record, I was busy sharing the link for this show. I wasn't thinking about your double D titties at all till you said something.
No, you're thinking about the fats. Oh, faces don't need a fat suit.
I wasn't paying attention. I was advertising. I was promoting you, paranoid piece of shit.
I can hear it. Shut the hell up. Shut up. I can hear it.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's what I have to put up with. Oh yeah, on a daily.
Yeah, right.
So I'm really a big fan of the fantasy, and I play Skyrim and Elder Scrolls a lot. I'm really into the swords and the shields and the dragons and the fantasy. And I even have the virtual reality. I got the Oculus Quest, so I can play games like that.
Yeah.
So I really like. I couldn't imagine playing in a movie. I've been in a few movies myself. I'm on the Internet Movie Database as well. I was in a recent movie called Junkie. It was directed by Tim Russ. It was Tuvok from Star Trek Voyager. I played a villain in that movie, but it's just I can only imagine playing actual part like that and that kind of that topic. Just a fantasy movie would just be unreal to play in.
Yeah, it was, and it didn't seem real for a long time. And I remember sitting next to Adam Brown, who played Ori, who I keep in touch with, and we was looking at each other, going, "Have they made a mistake? Are we actually meant to be here?" And it was in Noah's just asked a question about the food scene, and that was like the very first day of filming, or the first week or two, was in Bag End, and we were just sitting there going, "What the fuck's going on?" Like it just didn't seem real. And then suddenly Gandalf appears, and he's like, "There's Ian McKellen dressed as Gandalf." And we're like, "Whoa, this is getting real." So for a lot of us who hadn't done a lot of film work at that time, it was pretty freaky. It was kind of like it was a real pinch yourself moment for quite a while. And then everyone sort of started to get to know each other, and it sort of chilled out a little bit. But
Bill Moseley, aka Otis Drift.
I don't imagine. I mean, it's one thing that made you stand out. I thought was funny as hell was how you're the biggest Hobbit there, but you were the fastest. Yeah. You know, all these Hobbits just haul. You have all these dwarves just fucking hauling ass, and here you come just behind them going. Meow. That was the funniest fucking thing I've seen in a long time.
Well, that was I mean, that was always in the. I remember seeing that in the book and thinking, I wonder if I'm going to be doing that run, because I knew that'd be an iconic moment. But very early on in the initial script, I had some dialogue in the original script, and then I got an email saying, look, we're thinking of making you a more, taking some of the lines and doing some more physical gags. And my agent was kind of like 50-50 on it, but I thought I'm either going to scrap for like 5 or 6 lines with all the other guys, or I can make him iconic. And the thing with that as an actor is such a blessing, because the character is there and he's such a unit, right? That I think the trick for me was trying not to do too much, and just like the character was there and just have subtle moments. I was always, I don't want to bore you with like acting shit, but I always made sure I was doing something and always had a point of view about something. And I made a choice that I was always eating. Just always eating. Like the food was always the most important thing above everything, respect and all that kind of shit. But when we did that scene, I remember looking at a day out, because no one says, hey, look, in 2 days you're going to be doing sprinting, get prepared. Like we were on the piss like 2 days before that, and had a big night, about 10 of us in a spa pool and all that kind of stuff. So I thought the day before I went for a big walk and did stretching, and we turned up. And we did a couple of pre-scenes, but that scene, there was a buggy right next to us filming. And I asked the camera guys if they could see my feet, and they couldn't, because we had these massive oversized boots that, really hard to run in. So I got costume to, wardrobe to get me some runners, and I just put my runners on, and no one thought that I was going to run because of how I looked. And also I'm not really built like I'm no middle distance runner, so very fast over short distances, 3-4 meters, but anything other than that, it's no good. But
Twice as
And
long
so,
as that could.
yeah, man, and then so Pete, he's there, and I'm waiting, and everyone's going, "Oh, this guy's not going to be able to run. There's no way he's going to run fast." And he's like, "You know, you guys, we're going to be running from the bear, and you know, it's life or death, and you know, so I want you to run fast. Don't pretend to run fast. It's going to look silly. You know, I really want you to run as fast as you can, and Stephen, you just run faster. Action." And that's pretty much how it went down. And we did 3 takes, and that the rest is, you know, that's how it turned out in the movie. And the looks were real, man, because they couldn't believe I could run, but I've been training, so.
Oh, geez. That's amazing, man. I mean, what? I know there's only a certain amount of, you know, the movie series already has ended, but has there been any more thought towards any more Hobbit movies?
No, well, they're filming the Lord of the Rings. Well, they've finished season 1 of the Lord of the Rings TV series in New Zealand. So that's an Amazon show, and it's a TV show. So that's wrapped. But now they've packed up and gone back to the UK. So they're going to be filming season 2 and beyond back in the UK. So they bailed out of New Zealand, which is really shit, but that's the way it goes. But I know Pete won't do any more. He's doing. Pete's about to release a Beatles documentary, which is based on the Get Back album. So that's out, I think, in November on Disney Plus. So that's what he's doing at the moment.
We get video bombed, so there was another producer making his appearance. Instead of waving backstage, he just pops in with a funny looking face and he pops out.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're getting used to that. So we're gonna go ahead and go into our second commercial. Then
cool.
We'll be back with the round table and we'll talk some shit and have some fun.
Sounds good, man.
All right, be right back.
Yeah. Well, do you have the stuff or not? What do you mean you don't have it? Freaking deal! Where am I supposed to get it at? Fine. Well, then you do your thing! You have fudge.
What kind do you want?
Yeah. There's no need. Someone else is packing my fudge now.
Welcome back to the Sanitarium. Yeah. Welcome.
They're just great ads. I just love the way they're shot. I just love everything about them.
Time for you to meet some of my friends.
We have Rob Wild.
What's up again, my brother?
The Executioner.
Is the douche.
Ron Termel. Purple Sticky.
Now that's an intro, damn it.
How you going, guys?
What's up, my man?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, man. I've already managed to offend some of them because your Sanitarium background, that old church. I said it looks like some CIA backwater special ops site, and Rob fired up.
Hey, what the hell are you talking about backwater for, you bigot son bitch?
Man, you want to see where I grew up in New Zealand? If you want to talk about backwater, that's behind the backwater.
Behind the backwater. Rob's from the sewage water, like underneath the street.
Anyway, it's good to see you all.
And we got Jimmy Castle at the top.
The returning rock star. What's up, brother Jimmy?
What's up?
Hey, Jimmy. Jerry Fibbett here
up,
from
Jim?
Facebook, remember?
Yeah, I remember you.
All right.
Hey, Purple Sticky. Look what I got on eBay, on Amazon. We can't hear you, brother.
He's got his damn mic muted. Like he's always got it. Unmute your mic, dummy. There he goes.
There you go.
You're the producer. You should be doing that.
It won't let me. It says you have to unmute your own mic, dick.
Wow. Nah, instead he had a new ripper. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah. All right. Speaking of rip,
you think you turn that into a bomb? You think you turn? Look, what are you doing?
There you go.
Well, what
Look
the
at that.
hell?
Dude, look, guys, he's absolutely right. We all have to go kick it with this dude, man. I'll bet he knows we're the best
There he is.
are and the finest women.
Hell yeah.
Well, if you ever go to New Zealand, I can hook you up. Don't worry.
Yeah, take a trip out.
Jimmy disappeared again.
Jimmy's an idiot.
All right. Speaking of rippers, we're gonna go ahead and go to that clip I mentioned earlier. Mr. Ron Trammell up there.
Thanks a lot for the introduction, Telly.
Yeah, no problem, man. I got you. You know, I got you.
Yeah, you got me all right.
So I decided to put like hash, weed, hash, oil, weed, hash. Some fucked up combination with
I
weed on top.
remember. It was very mind-numbing.
He didn't know what was completely in it. I told him just to hit that thing and pull it, motherfucker. And it has a complete blowout. So
You're lucky there was no heroin in it from this son, bitch.
oh jeez. All right. Actually, this clip made on MTV's Ridiculousness. And actually, this clip played from what I've heard from many sources. I haven't confirmed yet, but here it is. Ron Trammell and Old Man Bong Rip.
You get it? Yeah.
Old Man Bong Fail.
He's showing a video he took of me a long time ago.
All right, come on, Joe. Hey, what's up, Joe? Here we go. All right.
Well, it's kind of limpy, huh?
Yeah, that's gonna be.
Pull it. That was definitely a blowout. Okay, I'm good.
We have to see it for yourself, Ron.
Well, looking back on it, I'd say that was the biggest blowout that ever happened to me. Thanks to you.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I haven't seen, with 207,000 views on YouTube. I mean,
That's
you went
impressive.
viral. You went viral for a while. I mean, it was.
I never knew that. I didn't know it was on MTV. I had no idea.
Dude, you're a fucking celebrity, Ron.
I didn't know
I'm in the
either. It was
movies
out of
now.
nowhere.
All right, great. I
Hundreds
can go all the
of
way
thousands
and
of
become a
people.
star.
All right, back to you, Stephen.
What's the food of choice? After the bong, what's I'd be interested to know what the food of choice is for you.
I'm in North Carolina, in a little country town, so it's everything between a fucking biscuit.
Right.
So it's bacon. It's anything you think of with biscuits. It's like
Right. Okay.
they don't eat bread; they just eat fucking biscuits everywhere.
See, in New Zealand, it's meat. It's a meat pie. A meat pie.
A meat pie is like a pot. It's like a pot pie, or
Well, yeah, it's like pastry. It's like a big thing about that pastry and meat and whatever. And I think I've done 4 of those after a session, and that's probably my limit. Maybe 5.
That's what ruins a meat pie for me. Is your ingredient is whatever. That means they put all the guts and heart and all that shit. Ugh.
Yeah, but that's the same as sausages. My old man used to he used to work for a freezing works, like a big meat, like a meat abattoir. And I asked him once when I was a kid what was in sausages, and he just said lips and assholes, boy.
Whoa!
But I still ate them. I don't give a shit. They still taste
Rob Wilds would love it too.
Fuck you. I love the double D's, baby.
Yeah, Rob loves the cock.
Fuck you.
He's choking on it right now.
Oh, fantastic.
So Rob Wilds here is a professional wrestler. He was my first wrestling partner. It's also known as the Boogeyman.
Oh shit.
No, not a Michael Myers. He was Michael Myers' little mask, and that was his little wrestling costume, and we're a little tag team, and I spelled his name wrong. Instead of the boogeyman, like the scary monster, it was boogeyman, like the dancing boogeyman. And here's a scene. Right. Here's a clip from that. There it is. Rob Wells as the boogeyman. He dances to it and smiles and laughs, but he really down under he really hates it, man. He really hates it.
He wants me to hate it, but I appreciate you haven't actually bothered people with that for a few shows.
He's figured out that I just want to get a reaction out of him, so he hides it and just kind of covers, dances with it. And goes along with
me. I was good at it. Why would I hate it, you dummy? Every time you play it, you're putting me over. Play it again right now. Play it again right now.
Play it again?
Yeah. Right. Put me.
All right. Moment over.
There's something great about Mike Myers and Running Man. I don't know what it is, but
you like that?
Brilliant.
Hey, he's too old to do. He's too old now. If he did Running Man, he'd pull something in his back.
You're fucking mine when I was on the rooftop at New Orleans doing the Sanitarium. I was drunk as shit. I was doing Running Man. I was dropping the hips. I was kicking ass.
Yeah.
Had fun.
And that's usually when it does happen, especially like the leg thing. I tore something in my knee doing that at the birthday a few years back. Yeah.
Poor guy came and smiled without breaking his face, and something happened to him. Gimpy fucker. Look at
that hat. You know what?
Well, there it goes.
That is.
There it goes.
Yeah.
It has begun.
God, you're a fag.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
Although I'm from New Zealand, so I quite enjoy those ones as well. It's all sheep in New Zealand. It's sheep. It's sheep in New Zealand because New Zealand in Australia they call New Zealand sheep shaggers.
I call Robin Jimmy sheep fuckers.
And you know where the best place to shag a sheep in New Zealand is?
Your place?
No, on the edge of the cliff because they push back harder.
Oh damn! Rob's like, yep, I know.
Hey, Face, I heard you had a bunch of cock in your backyard.
Yeah, I had three cocks in my backyard.
God, you must have been so excited, dude.
Yeah, my property came with like fucking 12 chickens.
Hey, did you have three cocks in your backyard at the same time?
Yeah, right. 3 cocks at the same time, and the one was huge.
He's growing them.
But you are a pro, dude. You can take more than 3 cocks at once.
He's growing a field of.
I don't know if I have, I don't know if I have that much room, man. I mean, it's about 4 acres, but I think 3 cocks and 4 acres, man, it's definitely, definitely the right math. So probably no more cock for me.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, right.
I got a bridge for sale too.
You what?
I got a bridge for sale too.
Shut the fuck up. Are you guys any questions for Steven? We have the coolest fucking dwarf ever played.
Actually, I actually do have one. Not a joke question, a real one. I was listening to you talk about how you were prepping, how you wanted to play the character and details, and I would imagine like landing a character like that, you would find a lot of meat on the bone, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, because I've heard other people kind of describe mythological, iconic parts as very difficult because they didn't have a lot of meat on the bone because of what people took off from the books.
Everybody left you alone, Kitty.
Yeah, look, it was because it was an ensemble, and there was like, to me, it was everyone was cast so well. Like all the guys who were casting the roles were like totally that person. It was very close, and it's kind of like finding your own niche on stage. You kind of like balance the stage. You got to find your place, and so we sort of found our place, and we didn't have big backstories. We got to make a lot of shit up. So like our group, there was Bomber, Biffa, and Bofa. We came from the Blue Mountains. Well, we weren't royalty. Like we were the country guys. So in New Zealand, we call it bogans. Like we were the bogans of Middle Earth. Like we were in it basically for the alcohol and the fighting, and that's pretty much it. We didn't give a shit about the treasure. We didn't really care about all the other stuff. So it was kind of easy to prep from that point of view. We just ate the food, drank, and really enjoyed the fights, and that's kind of, and then we could sort of make stuff up from there. But like our relationships with each other it was just pretty much because we filmed it sequentially. So we didn't really know each other as a cast at the very start. And in the story, we didn't really know each other because we just got together at this, little from each other. And so it kind of, we got to know each other on the job as we would in the story. And, we're just relating. It was just like a whole lot of boys, man. Like we had a big trailer park on set in Wellington, and we all had our own trailers. And we used to play PlayStation and just have coffees and just fart jokes, and it was pretty much like being back at school,
So tell me about that. Tell me about the ganja in New Zealand you're talking about.
It's pretty good. Like it's like a lot of it just comes from the bush. And if you go to I came to Australia, and I remember going to Bondi because everyone goes to Bondi, especially Kiwis. And I remember flatting with these three guys, and they had a. I don't know if you follow cricket, but there was a famous cricket player from the West Indies called Jeffrey Dujong. So we had a little bong called Jeffrey. He used to live under the laundry thing. And I remember the first time they brought it out and they gave it to me, I almost passed out because they put tobacco in all their weed here. Whereas in New Zealand, you don't put tobacco in anything because it's so readily available.
Oh, that's European.
Oh, it's terrible. It's just
it's you get a headache, and it's terrible. I've had people do that. I'm just like, I'm good.
But in New Zealand,
me once.
I believe I'd beat somebody's ass for selling me weed like that.
I don't mind rolling a blunt. I don't mind cutting a cigar up and using the wrap and rolling a blunt. I don't mind that. But no, leave on tobacco in it. That's just disgusting.
Hey, that happened to me. My whole chest burned. I couldn't breathe.
Couldn't breathe.
And the Asians do that. That's how they smoke their weed. They put tobacco in that shit.
Man,
everyone over here does it. Everyone over here does it. Yeah, it's crazy. I just don't. Yeah, I don't really smoke anymore. But like when I first came over 18 years ago, man, it was a bit of an insult to the lungs having that kind of stuff.
I think it's like an appetite suppressant. Like you want to get high, but they don't want to eat. So they have
no, that's the best part, man. That's the best part.
I know.
We get pies or kebabs, or I'd make toasted sandwiches, like bread and ham and cheese, or and
the fun of what you're going to eat.
Yeah, or like just some sort of meat. I've just bought a big ceramic egg smoker barbecue, and so I've just started getting into that. Yeah, that's my new passion. It's just cooking.
So I want to ask you who's your personal favorite character in the movies?
Oh shit, I don't know. I've always loved Galadriel. I mean, my God, you meet Kate Blanchett and she's just the goddess, and she was just so. All of us were just mesmerized by her, especially dressed up like that. Yeah, and
come here, you guys. There's furry little doors, and she walks into super hot.
But I tell you what, I think Gandalf, man. I think Gandalf's the coolest.
Yeah, me too. Gandalf was great. I love that dude. He was
Ian McKellen would be the coolest guy I've ever met. He's very cool.
That's his name, guy. Ian McKellen.
Yeah. He's very cool.
You shall not pass.
Yeah. He's pretty
you
cool.
shall not pass.
I already did that one.
Very good. Very good.
I'd probably blow a lung if I tried that. Yeah, that'd be me.
Yeah, don't pop a titty over it.
I won't. I'll pop a titty at you.
You shall not suck my cock.
Whoa. Yeah, speaking of bong rips.
Ooh.
Fuck not.
With Ron Trammell here, that wasn't the only bong rip he took, and there was a video.
No, there's another one. There's two of them.
Nice.
What do you got here? Let me see. Oh shit! Oh, hold on.
It's a
Nice.
replica. It's
Whoa.
a replica. See that's I don't know if it's bone or it's fiberglass into bone, but that's all metal, and you can see all the detail that they put on this thing. It's all
dinged up,
they've
battle worn.
Well, they've got proper weapon
Oh,
makers,
great.
and you can see the sheath is the old style. It's like it's leather on the outside, but it's wood on the
Look,
inside.
Jimmy. Look, Jimmy. You can put your dick in there.
Yeah.
No, my dick won't fit.
I know.
It's
You're
yeah.
saying your dick's a weird shape. That's why.
It's more,
it doesn't fit.
it's more like
That shit closes with authority.
It's more like Tristan's. So here's the bong rip number 2, Ron Trammell.
Oh no!
This one didn't happen like
we were
on
gonna get
MTV or
down.
nothing. But this was the second bong rip that I didn't sneak anything hash. I didn't sneak any hash in on him or anything. All right. I didn't sneak any hash on this one, but it was a good one. But here he is, Ron Trammell, Old Man Bong Rip, Part 2.
Whoa. Whoa. Hi, everybody. I'm back again.
So, what do you think about that, Ron?
What can I say? That's my ticket to stardom there, right there.
So I think he choked. I think he choked on that bong rip right there. It wasn't nothing I did. It was the fact that when he takes a fucking hit, he has to hold the fucking thing for like 5 minutes.
Well, I didn't
He's
know
one of
what
those
you
guys
had
that
in there. You had five different. He had 5 different things in there. Hash oil, weed,
Sounds like
all kinds of stuff, all mixed up together.
My
Hey,
God.
Pops, that was the one. That was the one that made it on MTV.
That was the
was that
one.
one?
Yeah,
Oh,
the other one.
I thought it was the other
Right
one.
there.
Okay. I thought
No,
the
it
other
was
one.
that one.
I really liked the
Oh.
first one the most. The first one was
I
just
did
great.
too, but that was the second one.
He had to sit up so fast just so he can breathe and cough the hit
Dude,
out.
he
It was
turned
just
fucking
excellent.
red in the first one. It was awesome.
Yeah. 50
Yeah,
Shades
I
of
thought
fucking
the first
purple.
one was classic.
Oh yeah, that's excellent.
It's impressive. I remember someone getting me to do a bucket bong in Turkey once, and that was like that was the hardest thing I'd ever done. I was passed out like even before I'd finished taking a breath.
Like gravity bong, right? They put it in the big tub
in a big bucket. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And we got on this ship. I toured Turkey in about 2001, and we're on this boat. There's about 18 of us on this boat around on the Mediterranean, and there's this guy. Apparently, the guy who owned the boat had this big island that grew he was a big hash supplier apparently,
okay.
and so every night he'd roll these, like, we call them cornettos because they're like that big, these huge things. And then we drank raki, because you drink raki in Turkey. And one of my friends that I met there, he took a skull and he gave them, but what he didn't realize is that they put some opium in it as well. And this guy drank this and he went out of his mind, and he ended up jumping down the water and following the next boat next to us to try and steal their little dinghy, their little portable boat at the back. And he was trying to row this thing as it was sailing out of the harbor. It was pretty mind blowing.
Wow, that's
great. That was crazy.
That sounds like a good time.
It was a very good time, man. Turkey's a great place to tour, man. It's fantastic.
I know a guy did like 50 hits of LSD and like drove a couple states away, rented a car, drove a few states, came back, and doesn't remember a thing. So, driving that far and to come back and not remember anything.
God, fuck face. Who was that guy that you knew when we dropped some doses together, and all he could do after an hour was go and jaw?
Oh yeah. What the fuck was that?
Who was that fucking guy? He's like a little Mexican kid.
I don't know. I know you're talking about. I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
Probably just Rob looking in the mirror.
All right. Anyway, back to you, Stephen. Who has some more questions for Stephen? Someone with an intelligent question.
Hey, Stephen, I got one.
Yeah, man.
What was the best movie? What was the best film you ever did? Outside of that one.
I mean, best or favorite?
His best film. His best film that he ever did.
I actually just did it's not, I don't know if you've been, but I just did a film with Jane Seymour last year.
Oh.
And it's called Ruby's Choice. And it was it was about a lady with dementia, and it was a really lovely story. But working with Jane Seymour, who's she's 60 odd and she looks incredible. That was pretty cool, and it was kind of the lead role in that. But there's another great one. I don't know if it's available. It's called Two Heads Creek, and basically it's about Australia's immigration policy, and it's about how people come into Australia and then they get sent to the outback. And I play this customs officer, and there's musical numbers, there's cannibalism, there's a lot of blood, and it's really funny. That was a lot of fun. We did that about 3 years ago. I've done a few. I also did a movie last year. You can see this hat. It hasn't been released yet. I think it played in some place called...
That's old. Children on the Corn, that's been around.
No, there's a new one that it was made, and it was produced by a guy called Lucas Foster, who produced Ford versus Ferrari. We shot it last year in Australia, right in the middle of the pandemic. There was only 2 productions going. There was that and another one in Iceland. That hasn't been released yet. I think it's due for release next year. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. So
yeah, I had Adam
kind of like a prequel.
I had Adam Wiley on here a few weeks back, and he was on the Children of the Corn 5.
Yeah, there's been about 8 of them, right? But this is like a prequel, I think, in the story. You know.
Okay.
So
hopefully, I need to know. That's one of my favorite movies to watch during Halloween times. Is Children of the Corn.
Hey, Dave, I think your mic's muted. I think you're just making out with it.
Yep. Yeah, I see him like going, it's like a fucking goldfish. The goldfishing. Nope.
No, we can't hear you, David. That's
it's
really
Trailer Park Rick Moranis down there. Wrangler
That's really
Dave.
the best way to keep it.
So he logged off. We'll come back on.
Because doesn't it look like X is at a gay nightclub?
Yeah. Hey, welcome to the joke, buddy.
Oh shit. Okay.
Purple sticky.
Jimmy, you haven't talked at all. This is crazy. Why can't you do that on my show?
I know.
Oh yeah.
Got too much to
Jimmy,
say on Thursday.
Jimmy, are you still in Mississippi?
There he is.
Damn it.
Shit. Just a second ago, you were like this.
Yeah, it looked like I was deep throating the mic, huh?
Yeah, you're just fucking slurping it
I
up,
liked
man.
it how it was, so I'm just gonna mute Dave for the rest of the show.
Can you mute
Trailer
yourself?
Park Rick Moranis.
Fuck
Honey,
you,
I'm in the trailer park.
Wrangler Dave, deep
Stephen,
throat.
I did have a question I want to ask you since you're an actor, right?
Yeah, man.
What do you think
Here we
about
go.
what happened with Alec Baldwin?
Oh shit.
Look, I got into some. Oh no, I don't think it is. I got into some Twitter arguments about this. I think it's unfortunately with social media, people jump to conclusions without really knowing the facts of it. Basically, on any film set, the way things are, and I think it'll change after this, but the way things are is that there's a process. It's a work. It's a normal health and safety incident. And the process is, and I've done it because I did a show in New Zealand in 2013, and I had blanks, and I was shooting them at like the midriff or just to the left of these stunt guys, and I was shooting like 3 blanks in a row, bang, bang, bang. And what happens on any set, you've got they talked about the assistant directors, and the assistant directors kind of like run the set. While the director looks at the vision and the cinematographer films it. And unfortunately, it was the cinematographer that she died. And, and I know she's a good friend of a friend of mine. So, it's affected everybody. But what's meant to happen is that there's an armorer. There's a guy who is an expert who's trained at firearms, and he goes, look, here's the gun. It's been cleared, and then they hand it to the actor. The assistant directors should never touch it. I don't know exactly what the conditions are, but there was something that happened on that production that happens a lot around the world. There were crew that left. There was concerns about health, about safety. A lot of them left, and basically the processes weren't followed. And for some reason, the actor got a gun that was either live or it had fragments in it, and so the processes that had to happen before that weren't followed. So like when you're an actor, man, you're thinking about all kinds of stuff. You're thinking about the scene, you're thinking about your lines, you're thinking about all the moments. And when you get handed a weapon, it goes through all those processes. And that didn't happen. And, you know, like, I guess some people have said, well, why didn't he check, or why didn't he get the call? But he was told cold gun, but the processes weren't followed. And it should never happen, man. There's so many things that had to go wrong to get to that situation.
Well, I remember the last time this happened was Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son, doing the
but it also happened in Melbourne, like about 2 or 3 years ago. It happened in Melbourne on a music video for a band called Bliss and Esso, and the same thing happened, and it just processes weren't followed. And I got frustrated because people were starting to slag off Alec Baldwin, and there's beefs with Baldwin and all kinds of stuff that are completely separate to this, and I don't get involved in that, but essentially they were like starting to say he was to blame and he shot him and all that kind of stuff. And there's been stuff posted that's pretty disgraceful about that recently. And basically there were processes that weren't followed. Someone didn't do their job and someone died, and it was really tragic. So, but once it gets to like, if I get handed a weapon, someone needs to go, it's clear, and you have to trust. It's like in any job, you trust the people before you do the job. But I think what's going to happen is that I don't think there are going to be live weapons of any sort on set anymore, because you could get a replica that doesn't fire at all, and you use VFX, and you can do that in post-production now. So I think I know a lot of people who are going to refuse to, I'm not going to use live weapons anymore. So, and they're never live. They're always blanks, but still, accidents can happen.
I like
so
shirt, by the way.
Did they stop using squibs?
And no, they can still use squibs, but like it's more about, you can use a squib, but that's from the side of someone who got shot, and that's a different shot to the actual weapon. So you can use squibs, and you could have like a replica gun that doesn't do anything, and then after the shot that you could have the squibs go off. You can still do that, but nothing can, and I've learned this in the last few days. Like there's no reason to have a real gun on set at all anymore. And I think there'll be law changes that'll happen. It's just tragic. And it was a production that were trying to cut costs. Obviously people were leaving, and unfortunately with something like that, man, if there's a mistake, it's, it was the worst possible outcome. So, I feel sorry for all the people, the crew that were involved. And I feel sorry for the actor, man, because it's like, that's, he put his trust in that. And, maybe there was things that he could have done. Who knows? I don't know the full details, but at the end of the day, there's a process leading up to when the actor gets that. And, and so, I just think it's just really sad, man. It's tragic, but hopefully it'll change things. So this will never happen again.
Yep.
With that kind of insight that you just shared, because firing a gun, just take a replica gun that doesn't do anything. Like you've got to now learn how that gun would naturally recoil and move as you're firing it. And that's not just something you can go in there and say, I'm an actor, I can fucking do it. That's like if somebody were inclined, they could start up a pretty lucrative business going around and teaching actors how to work the recoil.
Actually, there is a company in LA that does that. I know because Halle Berry and what's his name? The actor that played John Wick, they actually went to a shooting range and actually learned how to properly handle weapons.
It's Keanu.
Keanu.
I am Keanu,
man.
Keanu Reeves and Halle Berry actually went to a range and learned how to shoot properly.
Because on the other side, you have to learn how to hit it, take a bullet, and I've done that really badly before, be shot in the head or whatever. So you do it the other side. So it's just, I guess it'd be a similar process. But I'd be very surprised if if productions after this will use live weapons at all. And now it's like, shit, why are we even doing it? We don't even need to have it. It's, you know, you should never point anything. If there's something in the gun, there could be shrapnel. It could go anywhere. There could be, you know, it could be anything in there. So, yeah, hopefully that'll happen now.
Well,
but someone's going to go down for it. Someone will get probably jailed or very heavily fined in the production for the process. So.
Well, if you happen to have known the lady who was shot and her family, give them my condolences. I don't know them, but you said you do. So,
look, I've never met her personally, but I know a couple of friends who are cinematographers who work in the States who do know her really well, and you know they're just like, this should never happen, and you know it's just, I mean, but you know, workplace accidents happen every day in so many different industries, and this is. You know, I try and keep it to that. That's kind of what it is. It's a workplace accident where process wasn't followed, you know.
Yep.
All right, Stephen, I want to thank you for coming out tonight. It's been a total honor.
It was so much fun, man. It's been so much fun hanging with you guys.
Stephen, can I ask you one question before you
go?
Ron.
Yeah, all good,
mate. I was wondering, what is the most favorite film that you have ever seen in your entire life? What would be your favorite, if you could name a favorite? I don't know. Maybe they're all good to you. I don't know.
No, man. I don't know if you can see my Millennium Falcon and my Yoda, and I've got the AT-AT there, and Star Wars mud.
Star Wars
and my T-shirt. Star Wars is my fan zone, man. I saw like Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, when I was 8 years old in New Zealand, and you know, and I've recently played the original trilogy to my daughter who's 10. And it's always going to be the number one fan thing.
Well, and you only have Darth Vader on your freehand shirt, so I mean,
yeah, I know. And like
my
daughter only got that after I played her the Empire Strikes Back, when she actually got the whole, because I didn't want to spoil it. But I also remember like a TV show I've done a lot of conventions, like fan conventions, and my very first one I got to hang out with the Hoff, which was pretty cool.
Sorry, who?
The Hoff, David Hasselhoff.
Hasselhoff, right?
And,
I remember him when he was in the kit car, that
Knight Rider.
Knight Rider. That was great. I
remember one time where I totally fanboyed, and some of you guys will remember. I did a show a few years ago, and I got to meet Lee Majors, Steve Austin, and the $6 million man was like
awesome.
And it was the first time I'd been really giddy, like totally just an absolute fanboy, and I got to have a photo with him. Yeah, I just talk stupid. I just talk my head off at him.
Dude, I did the same thing when I met Timothy Leary, the guy I've always wanted to meet. Once I met him, it was like, I didn't know what to say.
Oh yeah, I've had a couple of those moments.
Well, you know, I share something in common with you. With you, it's Star Wars. With me, it's Star Trek. I love Star Trek.
Right.
All of the series.
Picard's the shit. I'm sorry, Picard's off.
Yeah, I just asked about your opinion there. I just wanted to know what you thought of some of these movies.
Yeah, definitely Star Wars. Definitely Star Wars. That's been it. So
that's a great.
Hey, before we jump off,
man.
I wanted to talk to our group, you know, the network guys, and ask if anybody but me is at all fucking concerned about this gay Joker going silent, going dark. Like, I'm freaked out. Anybody else?
Well, considering he's hijacked my podcast twice, he's kidnapped gay Batman and had him tortured with electricity.
Jimmy Castle. And Jimmy Castle.
Jimmy Castle, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And he threatened me.
Two gay guys. They kind of
Jimmy Castle, are you okay? Are you okay, Jimmy Castle?
He has sent direct threats to me and Chris. Sticky. I mean, this dude has been just running mouth and going crazy. And then just like that, he lets Jimmy go, and he's gone. I'm a little freaked out, and we all got to start checking in with each other more.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I just say fuck gay Joker.
You better fucking careful, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Everybody go ahead and check out Stephen Hunter on Cameo. Birthday messages, custom messages by a lot of stars, and he's on there. That's pretty awesome. He's there waiting to make a funny ass video for you.
I'll even show you my weapon.
He's gonna show you his weapon. Oh yeah.
Nice.
See, I still think you should go ahead and turn that into a pipe.
I know.
I probably could. I'd need a very long drill. That's the...
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, thanks for coming on, man.
It's been a pleasure. Great to meet you, all you guys. Fantastic.
Good to see you
come
again,
to
Telly.
Hit me up if you're coming to New Zealand. I'll get hold of my brother. He can look after you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hopefully,
That's
come
awesome.
back on and see us again.
Maybe we'll come down there and feed Rob to a fucking crocodile.
Anytime.
I can do that.